Growing fears over insider attack ahead of the inauguration. John Powell, be king, get free or die. Heavy is the head to wear the crown. Now, you know, all this what's going on in America, I gotta ask the question. Is we on the verge of the second civil war? And this black people gonna get caught up in the middle of something that they ain't got nothing to do with. Cause they put out this poll earlier, CBS, and they asked the public, said the biggest threat to the American way of life. 8% foreign threats, 17% natural world disasters and viruses, pandemics, which we in right now, economic forces, 20%, or other people in America, meaning white terrorism. White terrorism. All right? And they, them people that, did that, terrorist act the other day, they talking about giving them probation, you know, violating, being on federal ground, and, small things that don't amount to nothing. But the question I ask again, is we on the verge of the second civil war? Because black people ain't got nothing to do with what they got going on. See, they never settled that beef that they had between the North and the South. They never settled that beef. Guess what black people say? Well, my granddaddy fought in the Civil War and this, that, and the third. Well, what do they got to do with you? Your granddaddy was out there fighting for so-called freedom. But when they came, back from that war, we could see them in their uniforms being hung as if they was, in slavery in modern time. So they strange fruit swinging in the tree after they done went and fought for the freedom of America against these beasts. But then, white terrorism been existing. Look at down there in Louisiana. No, Las Vegas. When that so-called lone wolf, quote unquote, see how they, and then they called them people that rushed the Capitol the other day. I heard them say they some the knuckleheads that rushed the Capitol. If black people done that, y'all would have got 20 years. At the very least. But you see how they name it, knuckleheads. If that was y'all, they would have been like terrorists, thugs, killers, gangsters. That's how they would have, the news would have formulated. But white terrorism been going on. Again, look at Charleston. Down there with that little goofy boy. Then look at Boston when they blew up the marathon. White terrorism. Then when they go into the schools and shoot up the schools. White terrorism been going on. But see, they tried to ignore it until the other day, till it reached the Capitol doorstep. But the majority of the white, audience out here tried to ignore that this going on. But I seen the video where they were saying, some white people saying, oh, the Democrats is trying to make us pay reparations for something that we ain't had nothing to do with. Man, your grandfather profited off that business of slavery. That means it affected your life today. So the biggest problem in the black community is the white supremacists. Because they put all these ideas out here, and young Pharaoh trying to, unite with the white supremacists. And y'all go over there and watch that Negro videos. But anyway, they loading up, weapons. I just seen another one, post where they, because Walmart stopped selling guns, so now they going to Target and places like that, the Athletic and all that. They going to different places, lined up in a big line. What you think they going in there for? They going in there to get them straps. They feel like that if black people have equality, that's racism. When black people speak that black people should have, equal rights and justice, that's racism. When black people speak of loving ourselves, they call that racism. When black people say, y'all ain't treating us right in America, and we should separate, they say that's racism. They trying to make you stay in bondage under them and listen to what they say. Anything outside of that is racism. When you say black love, that means white hate. If you worship white Jesus, that means you gonna hate the black man. But when you say the black man is God, that automatically make him the enemy. Y'all still ain't understood that. But see, look, it ain't black people threatening, the American way of life. It's white terrorism. It ain't the Iraqis. It ain't coronavirus. It's not earthquakes. It's not tsunamis. It's not tornadoes. It's not, economics, the way they think they gonna you're gonna overthrow them as far as economics. It's the fear that they way of life gonna be destroyed. That man said that you think that the Democrats making Muzungus in America pay reparations gonna make the Muzungus like black people. That's what he said. Saying basically if they pay reparations, that they gonna pull them nooses out, basically. And that's why they got them 25,000, soldiers up there at the Capitol right now. The biggest threat to America is white terrorism. You ain't ever, look, when the crack gang was going on, wasn't no black people bringing in no cocaine. Look at Oliver North. They got caught. Look at the, what they call it? Cocaine cowboys. That be all white men that own planes, rich white men that was bringing the drugs into the country. Black people don't own no planes. So how would the drugs get into the community? But then they turn around and say, oh, it's a war on drugs. Then they lock all y'all up. But then turn around when there's ice out here, this meth and all that shit, and they people going through the drug epidemic. Because black people don't learn you don't smoke no crack or no real, no drugs. Or we don't do drugs. You see what I'm saying? In the black community today, it's they people doing the drugs. And now they feeling the effects of what their forefathers done again, but they don't want to accept responsibility for what their forefathers done. They want to blame it on black people. So when the war on drugs came, black people was the face of it. They were showing black people out here smoking crack and all that shit. But if you look at every terrorist act, even 9/11, they say them people that was on that plane was speaking the American language. Now, how could they speak American language if they wasn't American. And then again, even if they was little Iraqis or whatnot, y'all taught them how to fly them planes and y'all taught them the American language. So that's an American problem. That ain't got nothing to do, you know, white terrorism ain't got nothing to do with black people. Period. Period. And you see it right here. You know, before it was foreign threats would have been 50%. So they saying the American people is being threatened by their own people. Over half. And so the question I got is, we on the verge of the second Civil War. Now usually when I have dreams, that it be sometime cloudy, but I learned how to fix that. You put some water under the bed. But that night I didn't do it, and I went to sleep, and I was dreaming. That's my word, bro. And it was clear as day. A foreign plane got shot down in my neighborhood by the Americans. And I'm talking about, man, just the immense size of one of them jets. I mean, and when it hit the ground, it was like boom, 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 boom. You know, it exploded. But it wasn't no little explosion. Like, you know, somebody, you know, one of them other nations, Russia, China, got some kind of idea, and they, you know, must have went to attacking the Americans or whatnot. But it was all out war. It was way before, you know, this was like maybe like 6 days ago. It wasn't even quite a week ago. But it was all out war. And again, normally when you have dreams, that shit be fuzzy. That right there was, you know, deja vu, like, you know, it done happened before or was coming. So the question I got for the black community, you didn't listen to me in the first place. I told y'all we needed to get out this country. We needed to go home. I told y'all. And so now you stuck over here. What you gonna do? Don't be scared now. Get ready. Get ready for what's to come. Because you about to be stuck in the middle or something. And these other countries is waiting for the Americans to slip so they can, you know, take over world power. Russia, China. And they see at this point, you know, that the, you know, Americans is weak in a turmoil. And that's the easiest time for them to come over here and take over. So at the Pentagon, they better get their shit together. And black people, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Don't sit up and tell me you ready for this shit. But if you gonna get caught up over here in this shit, you better get ready. Bug out bags and all that. They've been preparing for this for a long time. For a long time. And now you over here, you know, been partying at the club, at the ball game, and at the movies while they've been preparing, you know, for a coup, for an overthrow. And you caught right in the middle. What you gonna do? So again, the question that I have is the United States on the verge of a second civil war. Jump out! Be king, get free or die. Heavy is the head that wear the crown.